Yo, how's it going, everyone? This is Mitchell Mander here, and wow, I just got done watching episode 218 of Boruto, Naruto Next Generations. And what an episode. Episodes 216 and 218 have to be the best string of episodes in a row in the Boruto series. I know a lot of people call trash on the series that's not consistent, but right now, it's getting a lot of praise because these episodes have been fairly consistent, which I love. Now, today's episode, it basically covered the rest of Chapter 53, all 54, and the beginning of Chapter 55. So a lot of material to cover. So, before I get on to, the differences between the anime and manga in this review, I just want to say if you're new to the channel and you like this type of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It'd be pretty awesome if you would do that. So this episode is split up into two parts. Part 1's the action part, part 2 is the emotional part. In part 1, it's not really that much different than the manga, actually. It pretty much follows the same events with Kawaki tricking Isshiki with a shadow clone, Isshiki dying, everything seems fine, then a Momoshiki-possessed Boruto arrives, and before Sasuke can react in time, he gets his Rinnegan taken out. Which, I'm still not a big fan of this scene, even in the anime. I don't know, I feel like Sasuke should have reacted to this a little bit better. I know that he's very exhausted, and he was beaten up quite a bit in the battle against Isshiki, but I don't know, I'm still not a big fan of this. But regardless, this part of the episode basically follows the manga almost to a T, where Borushiki shows up, talks to them, wants to take Kawaki to the 10 tails that Isshiki has. He's gonna go and find it, and basically, like I said, all the stuff happens. Like, he uses Vanishing Rasengan on Sasuke. Sasuke tries to assassinate Boruto, but Momoshiki manages to evade, and the reason why he keeps invading him is he's not using his karma because Boruto would wake up. So yeah, that's pretty much the first part of the episode, where Boruto eventually wakes up, and yeah, the only major difference I notice here is that Naruto passes out after the fact, whereas in the manga, he passed out in the middle of this battle with Sasuke and Kawaki versus Borushiki. Now into part 2 of this episode, and definitely the emotional part, and I have to say again, I cried a lot in this part of the episode. It was so well executed, it blows the manga away. Like, in the manga, it just happened so quick. It was just like, oh, Kurama's dead, moving on. But the anime here, it took the time to actually give the emotional impact here, and it was just so much better executed than the manga. It's not even funny. Like, I like the additional conversation they have here that the anime adds, like how Naruto regrets not saying goodbye to Hinata or Himawari, that Boruto and Kawaki will be fine without him, and like how Kurama talks about how he actually spoke to Kawaki while Naruto was sleeping, and how, Boruto and Kawaki are like brothers. And I like how Naruto basically says that it's not really the same with me and Sasuke because we're not brothers. He has Itachi, but you, Kurama, you're like my brother. And I thought that was really nice, too. And they just reminisce for a while, and it's really nice. They talk about, the first time Naruto met Kurama, and just all the good times they had, and how Kurama basically helped save Naruto many times during their fights. So if it wasn't for Kurama, Naruto would have lost many fights along the way. And yeah, all this is actually really well done, until Kurama reveals that, Baryon Mode's price is my life, not yours, and I'm just gonna vanish. And the Jinchuriki in this case is gonna be fine. And what they did here with Naruto, like his reaction to Kurama dying, it was just well executed. The voice acting was on point. The facial expressions were on point. Like, everything was done well, really done well here. I like how it segues into the ending, because I know that this ending that they did for Boruto, they did it specifically for Kurama. And as Kurama's life fades away, the other tailed base realize that Kurama has faded away as well. And then we get a montage of all the times where Kurama basically helped out Naruto, or harmed him, I should say, in the beginning. Like the first time Naruto met Kurama, to when he fought against Pain in his six-tail form, to when they had their first fist bump. They started working together. And yeah, there was just a nice little montage here at the end, before Kurama fades away. And as Naruto cries out for Kurama, he wakes up to Boruto basically holding his hand, and This was actually also executed much better than the manga, because that was over in an instant as well. It's much more emotional, and Boruto's crying over here, talking about how he thought he'd never see his dad again. So yeah, this entire ending, everything about it was executed just perfectly. I'm just at the end of this episode, I was crying. So the episode did its part. If I'm sitting over here crying, then the episode did its job perfectly. Alrighty guys, that's all I got for today's episode review. Not really a whole lot of differences between the anime and manga this time, mainly with Naruto and Kurama's conversation, which definitely needed to be expanded, because if it wasn't expanded and was handled just like it was in the manga, it would have caused a huge outrage on social media, and a lot of fans would have been angry if this was not handled right. But the anime did it. Studio Pro came through and handled this perfectly, in my opinion. So the episode gets us 9.5 out of 10. I'm just still not a big fan of how Sasuke lost his Rinnegan. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like he should have been able to react in time, even though he is very exhausted from his battle with Isshiki. I will give him that. He was very exhausted, but he should have been able to react in time, in my opinion. And with next week's episode, I want to say we're done with manga content for a long time in the anime, which is pretty sad, because ever since we started adapting the Kara arc or the Ao arc at the beginning of this year, Boruto anime has been solid, in my opinion. It's had a few bumps here and there this year, but overall this has been a great year for the series. So I'm hoping that the anime canon stuff that's coming up, like the second Chunin exams, ends up being pretty good. I'm a little worried, but hopefully it ends up maintaining the momentum that Boruto has had all year. It'll probably be maybe another year before we get to manga content again, unless we get to the time skip very soon in the manga, which has to happen soon. But anyways, I'm kind of rambling on here, so in the comment section down below, let me know what you thought of this episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you think Kurama's last conversation was handled well? Let me know your thoughts. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And guys, have a great day or night wherever you're at. And peace.